call the meeting to order at this time, and we'll ask if anybody has any public comment with an item they'd like to address the board with. Moving on. Susan? Seeing none, go ahead, Richard, if you can make the announcement of what we'll be talking about in closed session.
Mr. Chairman, the board will be convening in closed session for a conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to subdivision D1 of Government Code Section 54956.9, Woodall versus Lassen County, Lassen Superior Court, case number 50065.
Very good. With that, we will go into closed session.
Oh, yeah. Saying something about my breath? No. In case you're flipping. I had breakfast this morning. I'm thinking of you. All right, we're done.
The honkers. Okay. We'll go ahead and reconvene at this time. We'll ask Mr. Gallagher if he needs to pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we pray this day for your ever-enduring guidance. We ask you to cloak us in wisdom and fortitude, that we may dispense our knowledge and facts intelligently among all of humanity of whom we serve. Amen. Richard, can you give an announcement of items discussed in closed session, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the board convened for a conference with legal counsel regarding existing litigation pursuant to subdivision D1 of Government Code Section 54956.9, Woodall versus Lassen County, Lassen Superior Court, case number 50065. And that item has been continued till the end of the open session, where the board will be reconvening for to finish the closed session.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda approval. Are there any additions or deletions?
Mr. Chairman, I have one. Item, if I can find the item. It's item H2. I would like to postpone that item until our next regularly scheduled meeting, which will be March 14th.
H2. Okay. I would also ask that we adjourn our memory today, or meeting today in memory of Carla Connor. Is there anything else to mention?
Susan Spalding.
Oh, yes.
She was at Chapman today. She was one of the original Spaldings from the West.
Okay. Who was that?
On the corner.
Carla Spalding.
There you go.
Make the motion to approve the agenda. Second. By Henry, seconded by Hemphill. Any discussion? Anybody from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. We would like to address the board with an item that is not on the agenda. Now would be the time to do so, or if you can't stick around for the agenda item, you may do that as well. Seeing no public comment, we'll bring it back up here and unagendized reports by board members. You want to kick it off, Tom?
Sure. I finished up my round of town halls at Ravendale last week. It was fairly well attended. Congressman Lassen's representative went with me, so they got to ask him some questions. And I think we're all kind of worried about the Prop 64 stuff and where it's headed. And we as a board, really, we have to address where we're headed. Congressman Lamoffa's representative told me those were pretty tame meetings. He attended a couple of them with me. He said within 5 minutes in Butte County they're throwing chairs at each other. So I've learned to kind of keep in control of them, to not let them get going in the wrong direction quick, and they will. So, but not, all in all, it went pretty well. It was good to get out. I went to every part of my district. That's where we're headed. But I do know that we need to start taking a hard look at our upcoming growing season and what we're going to do as a board in the county.
Yeah.
I went to LAFCO yesterday. It was kind of refreshing. They had the HPUD and the other West Patton Village people there, and it was quite the different scene than what we've usually had here over the years. They've all kind of started singing Kumbaya and getting together, and in fact they're they moved ahead 2 years faster. So, good deal there. What am I supposed to be doing something else?
So we'll come back to you.
Can you come back to me too, because I want to thank Richard for the effort they made out of her lawn on those bridges. Yeah.
David?
Did the pool board last week, and we're moving forward on that, getting ready to launch it. The budget is tight, but by not putting the revenues that we do expect to make on it into those numbers, we do have a little bit of room there. So, getting pretty excited. We'll see. Nearly finished.
Good.
To LAFCO once again, like Jeff said yesterday, and I've, being in special districts, I've worked with those folks a number of times, and actually got a couple of phone calls from Pat on occasion on what do you do here and there with the fire department, so it's good to see it really come together. And also went to the Westwood Chamber Dinner last week, and that was well attended. It was a good time. We got a good part of the community together. And Saturday attended Bill Knox's funeral. Bill, as you know, was on the Fish and Game Commission for quite some time, and he was dedicated to hunter safety. He was a master hunter safety instructor, and really led a lot of kids to the hunting sport throughout the year, so it was sad to see him go.
For my report, I'd like to start off, we can get the public works, the tabletop up here is just getting a little loose. I know we fixed it 4 or 5 years ago, I just noticed today it's getting a little loose, just put that on there. To-do list, that they have nothing else to do, I'm sure. It's not a, what's that?
You been nipping it real hard.
White knuckling? I see Chapman's fingerprints on it. So we have that. I did attend the fair board meeting. They were open for this last week. They didn't close down because I showed up like they did.
I'm glad I didn't say it because I was going to joke and say I got there and nobody was there.
So anyway, they have a new executive secretary in the office there. She seems to be doing a real good job. The premium book is almost ready to come out for those people who are getting ready to start thinking about the fair. The ambulance in Big Valley that's been shipped out of Alabama, where it was being built, and it's on its way out to Reno to get the radio stuff installed, and they'll have their second ambulance, so they'll be up and running here probably next 4 weeks, hopefully. So I have that, and then the Big Valley girls, they did win their game, so on Thursday evening they were playing for the Division 7 championship down in Reading. So everybody going out for that. And I think that was all I have, so with that we'll go back.
I remember now, I went to the emergency medical committee meeting last week, and SIMSA's really doing this community a good job. We're lucky to have them under here. They're doing a regional approach on this ambulance deal. They're, we already know they're in Big Valley. They're taking over Mayor's Memorial in Fall River, MacArthur. They're in talks with Alturas to take over the Modoc Medical Center up there.
This is the same.
Same service.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be a regional approach. They have, the call volumes went up so bad, or so high here, they're gonna add another ambulance in the Susanville area because it's into what was it, like 14% coding?
I have to check. I don't remember the exact number.
14, 18%. So they're behind there a little bit, but they're really going great guns, and we really need to support them. So, and then come March or April, they're coming out with a plan that covers both the air and the ground that we can all sign up for. Pretty meeting.
Okay, one last thing. We had some problems with the bridge at 825, and the county reacted rapidly to resolve the problems. That's, as we know, it's the only good bridge that goes to Hurlong, because 826 is one lane now. And the county did a great job working with Sierra Army Depot in shoring up the approach, because it was getting pretty nasty. And I don't know how many loads of rock they brought in, but it was a ton.
I don't know the number, but it was a lot.
A lot. So they saved the bridge. Once again.
Well, very good. So with that, then we'll move on to our general consent calendar. How does that look to everybody?
Make a motion, we,
I'd like to pull G3 myself. You're good.
okay, I'll make the motion, we approve items 1, 2, 4, and 5 in the information calendar.
Second. Okay, it was moved by Gallagher, seconded by Hammond. Is there any other discussion? Anybody from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Going back to G3, this is the aggregate for, assuming this is for all the roads and driveways and expected they can get put back together.
County roads.
Yeah. So anyway, it was interesting to see the prices of this. And I don't know, Larry, if you can, just from the picture that I saw on the news, if we could put a bid out to DWR to get all that rock that washed down.
That would be a good idea.
It, it might be, there's a lot of material there too. Of course, they're probably all going to need it down there, but, it just goes to show that there is need of this. And I also pulled this off for Maury, for your department, is that not only does the county going to need a lot of material, but a lot of private individuals will too. And so I don't know if there's an opportunity in the emergency declaration to help move forward on some of these, the gravel pits, to reactivate them or get them expanded or whatever we need to do this. Because this has been a devastating year for many entities. And the county's going to have to use a lot of them as well as the private individuals. And that's kind of why I asked us to be told that, for that reason. I don't know if there's an opportunity to the departments to access those and be able to take advantage of the emergency proclamations or not. I don't know. So I'll have to back over to you guys.
Maury may want to comment on this as well, but I don't believe there's included in the emergency is any waiver of SMARA, Surface Mining and Reclamation Act requirements that
Exactly true. We have a call into the state to beg that question, and if anything, it would be a good topic to have at their semi-annual mines and geology meetings where they talk about policies and programs. That would be something that I think would be worth discussing at that level.
Well, very good. Well, I mean, I'm very happy to see that you guys been proactive, Larry, on this and getting this out to get ahead of the curve. There's a lot of work to be done.
There is a lot of work.
Larry, through my town halls, I took notes of all the complaints through my district, and I'm going to compile that. I'm going to give you. I'm sure you're already aware of them, but just in case we miss something, I will hand you
Very good.
all the roads and,
Okay.
and give you a package, and
Very good.
then I'll check back up on you in about 4 months.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Question I had, this is on the geography of this bid. Would it be better for us to break it down sometime, like hauling material through the Big Valley? Would it be cheaper to buy material closer?
That's the way I bid it. Like this one is bid at the pickup at their pit, at their site.
Right.
So we bid it with the idea that we calculate the transportation cost.
Where is
And there's multiple sites, right, that were bid, Larry? Is that
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah.
Well, not like the one that we're awarding at the Litchfield pit.
I thought, aren't there multiple sites that we're recommending award?
This was actually just the way it turned out. They're all out of the Litchfield site, and that's where most of our need is Spanish Litchfield area.
Is that where Sierra Cascades pit is?
Yes, it's the old. It's their.
No, what I was thinking, like in Big Valley or Westwood, instead of putting out another bid,
I believe, don't we work out of our own pit in the north end of the county?
We do somewhat, and we actually do have a purchase order we bid out, probably 3 months ago, for some base rock, and part of that was up in August pit, awarded up there. So we do look at the different side, and then actually some of that is Westwood pit as well. So we do look at the areas and figuring transportation costs.
We're not hauling rock from Litchfield to Big Valley.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
And that's the point of
Transportation cost.
Is there any action on G3?
I move to approve.
Second. Moved by Campbell, seconded by Peter. Any other discussion? Anybody from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And so with that then, I guess we can move right on to 8.1.
Mr. Chairman, I've prepared a memo in your file regarding recommended changes to our drug-free workplace policy. There's been a few changes in the allowance for drug testing. It's historically been the county's policy to pre-employment drug test everyone. That's no longer allowed by state law, and so we've revised the policy to reflect that, to include pre-employment drug testing for safety-sensitive individuals and those that are operating equipment that are allowed to be pre-employment drug tested.
So now we can't pre-employment drug test.
Those
Only for safety positions.
correct.
So, Ron, who's that?
That's correct. That comes out of state law and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal decision. And actually, that decision has stood for some period of time, and we, once we became aware of that decision, have employed that practice. Now we have to change the policy to reflect our practice, which comports with the law.
So I did that.
Well, that used to be the only time you could do that was when you offered them a job, and then contingent upon them passing that was the time you could drug test them. So,
For all staff.
right.
No longer.
And I will point out, though, if we have any reasonable suspicion, we may test, but we need to have reasonable suspicion that something's going on.
And you're still going to have the random drug testing of all.
The DOT employees are subscribed to the random drug testing.
Non-DMT.
You're talking regular employees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
No random?
That's
sir.
what I got.
No random. No random. You have to have only specific facts which suggest that a person is currently under the influence. And there's a whole process associated with that, and I don't want to give a shorthand description of it. So yes.
Is any other questions of Richard? I mean, I have several, so. Okay, I'll start with, on the very front page, Richard, on the fiscal impact. There's two disses in that sentence. There's no fiscal impact for this change.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. And then I didn't, when I was reading this, if you go to the page 3 of 20, this is in the first part.
Purpose of the policy?
Purpose of the policy in the last paragraph. You go down there in the second line there, it says for prospective employees and prohibiting, comment, in part, the use, possession, sale. Why do we have in part?
Because there may be other prohibitions, that is the way I read that.
Okay. I'm just, because it made it sound like it's, I mean, I don't know, if we're going to have a drug policy, it should be all inclusive, just not partial. A drug and alcohol policy. That was just my,
I'll let the lawyer comment on that, I could delete it. I'm not sure that has a great meaning.
I don't either. If you feel that those words should not be included, I don't see that as having any long-term impact on the application.
I'm not a lawyer, but I know lawyers poke holes in everything. and
Correct.
I see that as a,
I know that the proposed policy has been vetted by many, both in personnel, with our personnel consultant, by Richard, by myself, and by other staff as well. And so I want to be cautious about proposed changes.
very much so.
Yes, sir.
And then if you go on to page 4 of 20,
Yes, Trustee. Yes.
down in the bottom in the bullet points, you have equilibrium, speech, mental reaction, voter rights, etc. I don't see anything in there, talking about the mental reaction of during conversations, on your observations. Shouldn't there be something there, like if you're operating equipment and they're not running it right for whatever reason? I mean, couldn't that be considered?
Well, certainly I would think that would be part of mental reaction.
Physical.
As the greater context, or physical reaction, physical actions, certainly.
Okay, but this is, I just wanted to make sure that was going to be correct.
But there is a bullet point on physical actions, which doesn't
Page
directly
5.
address, but
There's one on page 5 that says a pattern of abnormal conduct or erratic behavior.
Correct.
Yeah.
This isn't, okay, so these bullet points, it's not like there's a point scale for each, or that if you've got 3 out of 7 of them, you're good to go, but 2, you're not. It's a kind of totality of the circumstances approach where if you evaluate the person and they display characteristics which you are able to articulate, and you're reasonably persuaded that they might then there be under the influence of something, that would then give you the authority to go the next step. That's all that's intended to do. And so there's not, what's the language in the case law? There's no magic talismanic value of any particular bullet point.
Okay, I bring that up just like a CHP, we're talking, he's going to visually observe you driving
Sure.
down the road and then pull you over to make those other observations. I was just wondering if that needs to be part of it.
And what they would say is that is part of the observation process, yes. And they would say, I know because I've heard them say it, that it's a totality of the circumstances situation. And there's no pass or fail. It's an observation. They're looking for indicators, one way or the other, which might lead them to a conclusion, one way or the other.
I think that the last bullet point, the pattern of abnormal conduct or erratic behavior, provides a general enough criteria to what you're identifying.
Randomly test. What about with the recreational marijuana stuff now? Where's the county stand with that?
Nothing has
The
changed.
medicinal, nothing's
We
changed.
have a drug-free workplace.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's prohibited.
So the answer is just because you can use marijuana recreationally in the state of California now does not mean you get to show up to work stoned.
I wouldn't make that very clear.
Yeah.
Okay, but also the medicinal part, if you have a 215, I'm just throwing stuff against the wall.
Same thing.
Same thing. We have
Okay,
a
but
drug
if it's
free.
in your system,
Well, now that's a different issue.
okay.
There's a difference between being under the influence and having some residual in your system.
Correct.
There's a distinction.
There's lots of discussion in the literature about people who have marijuana or use marijuana, that they then have the metabolite in their system and are eliminating it long after they've come down off the high, if you will.
Right.
And so surely the employer has the right to protect its workplace from the person who is currently under the influence and might present as a hazard to other employees. It impacts morale, it impacts productivity, all of that stuff. But then the demarcation point thereafter is, what about the employee that has it in their system from using over the weekend when they were off duty?
That's what I was
And
getting at.
that there's a whole other analysis that goes into that. And whether we can know that in the first place, legitimately, through some legitimate testing process supported by the law. And secondly, if that's the case, is there any foothold to do anything about it? My initial reaction is no.
So we have not defined a policy for that.
So, well, let me clarify that a little bit. We have a policy. We're drug-free workplace. Can't be under the influence of anything, prescription drug, et cetera, in the workplace. There are only certain circumstances where we can test someone or require someone to be tested to find out if they have those things, and that is essentially the reasonable suspicion test, if we have reason to believe. Now, with alcohol, there's some pretty generally recognized levels that indicate a person's level of impairment.
Blood alcohol content.
But with marijuana
That's easier to
and
track.
other drugs, that's not so clear. Did I answer that question without an answer?
You did good. You did pretty good. Going on to page 5.
Yes, sir.
2.15.
Yes, sir.
It's talking at the bottom of that first large paragraph. The consequences include death, disability, damage to property, and risk of financial liability in large amounts. Should injury be inserted in there as well? I mean, because you have death and disability.
I kind of thought that was included in those.
Disability?
If you'd like, we're happy to include that.
I'm just throwing stuff out there. Then on the same page down at the bottom of 2.18, you're talking about this, the last sentence, this includes the presence of any drug or alcohol in any degree that may affect the employee's ability to perform their job safely. After degree, shouldn't that just be a period and just eliminate the rest of that sentence?
No.
It's not the standard.
That's not the standard.
The standard is a person could be, I suppose they could have the impact of a substance in their system, but if they're able to perform their job safely, productively, and without some, I'm not making it up. We're talking California law.
The important qualifier here is that may affect the employee's ability to perform their job safely.
Correct. That's the modifier that we believe is present in the law.
And that's the reasonable suspicion, too. Right?
Yes.
Well, because that, to me, that's, if it's in there in any degree, it's going to affect their job, period.
No, not necessarily.
You might have to put on dinner the night before and still have some injury things still perform the job.
Or 2 nights before.
Yeah. You went to cheaper state.
I disagree with that. That's why I disagree with that.
Sometimes school is a little tough Monday morning.
So I guess what I would say is probably most of the time, if a person displays the presence of drug or alcohol to any degree, it probably also affects their performance, but not all the time.
Okay.
And the law supports. The law says it has to impair their performance.
Personally, I disagree.
As an employer, we prefer that our employees not tempt the law at all, if they're not trained or do drugs before they come to work. That's the reason.
And we're having a little bit of an amplified discussion about this, but we're not under the impression that we have a whole it's got to be a whole group of people out there that are showing up to work, in any condition other than perfectly capable, and they display it every day.
And then I only have one more, and that's on the following page, page 6 of 20, 3.1.2.
I got that too, but he answered that already.
Well, it was talking about the manufacturing, selling, distribution, dispense, possess, consume, under the influence of illegal drugs or controlled substances. I think we ought to add alcohol to that because of the ability of people to manufacture their own alcohol now through home sales and whatnot. Should alcohol be in there?
Did you say 3.2?
3.1.2. I thought you
I'm
said
sorry.
3.1.2.
under directives.
If you just put alcohol in there as well as the drugs.
Okay. I don't know if I'm adding that.
I don't either.
Alcohol, illegal drugs, controlled substances, or alcohol.
Use or be under the influence of alcoholic beverage, comma, illegal drugs, comma, or controlled substances.
The only question I had was under the testing policy, and you already answered that.
And then I guess I had one other question.
Yeah.
Going back to page 18.
Of 20?